Hi and welcome to the channel, where I introduce beautiful artwork and perhaps we will also show some beautiful places in Italy, talk about their history, where they are located, what makes them so beautiful, and maybe we will speak about the different eras in Italian history. These may either be part of the different videos covering art or a standalone video on the history of Italy. We begin with the Vatican, specifically Raffaello and Michelangelo. However, this video is on Raffaello's beautiful commissioned work, the School of Athens. Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel will probably be the second video. However, I haven't decided as of yet which I will release first. I hope you do enjoy, and I ask that if you like the video and you get knowledge or just appreciate learning, please leave a like, please subscribe and ring the notification icon bell, putting it to all, and share. I thank you, and let us begin exploring the work of art. Raffaello's masterwork, Insights into the School of Athens. Pope Julius II commissioned Raffaello to paint the School of Athens as part of a larger commission to decorate his private apartments in the Apostolic Palace in the Vatican. The fresco is in the Vatican rooms, one of four, and specifically in one of four rooms of Raffaello. And this specific room is located in a room known as the Stanza della Segnatura, which is the room of the Segnatura. This was originally a library for Pope Julius II and is a major attraction. The School of Athens is one of the most remarkable paintings of the Renaissance. Along with its beauty, it presents a perspective of the entire humanist environment of the Renaissance. Raffaello's art is a masterful combination of artistic technique, intellectual depth, and symbolic tribute. The most fascinating part of the fresco, the most fascinating part of the fresco is its subject matter, an imagery of the greatest mathematicians, philosophers, and scientists from classical antiquity, all convened under one roof, the School of Athens. It is a tribute to humanism as it represents the Renaissance idea that secular knowledge, philosophy, is as vital and worthy of celebration as divine knowledge, theology, which is the fresco on the opposite wall of the School of Athens, known as the Disputation of the Holy Sacrament. The fresco glorifies the pursuit of truth through reason. We will look at perspective in the Renaissance in this video and how it relates to this image. However, I want to quickly begin giving you the insights into this wonderful art. And we will do that by taking a look at who these people are. The central philosophical debate is the first element we will look at. Here, the eye is instantly drawn to the two central figures, Plato and Aristotle, who are recognized as the central figures below the central arc with the sky visible. Plato is on the left, and he is pointing upwards and wearing a red and gray garment. Aristotle is on the right, and he is holding his palm downward and wearing blue and brown garment. This is the central debate, the core divergence in Western philosophy. The symbolical meaning of this imagery is: the upward indication of Plato references his theory of forms that suggests that the ultimate reality is a spiritual realm of abstract, eternal ideas, and he holds his book Timaeus. Aristotle gestures outward and downward toward the earth. He portrays his focus on empiricism, sensibility of the world, and knowledge gained through experience, and he holds the book Ethics. We will look at the other people in the fresco, where Raffaello models the continuity of thought by representing past historical figures through notable masters of his age, basically his friends. Plato is widely believed to be a portrait of Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci was specifically honored in this image by using his likeness to represent Plato. He honored him in this way as Da Vinci inspired Raffaello's many works, including Raffaello's use of perspective. Let us take a brief look at perspective in the Renaissance before getting into the discussion of who the various people are again. Perspective was one of the main elements that defined painting in the Renaissance. People were no longer represented as flat and two-dimensional, but they possessed volume and weight by simply showing this in the perspective they provided. The images seemed to come to life rather than being mere flat images on two-dimensional space. They became actual three-dimensional representations, which is another of the core elements of the Renaissance. To return to perspective, we can see how the two parallel lines behind and above Plato and Aristotle seem to converge, and it is there where the goal of perspective helps to provide three-dimensionality and draws the attention to Plato and Aristotle. Other uses of perspective is the triangular format that Renaissance paintings and perspective use. They start out broad toward the front of the image and narrow the further the perspective is from the viewer, which narrowing generally is in the center but not always. This was another technique from the Renaissance that brought images to life with depth, which is a further element of the Renaissance, along with volume, weight, three-dimensionality. To achieve this, the various elements such as chiaro scuro, use of light and dark colors, perspective, and sfumatura, or hazy transition between the colors, achieved those effects. Let's continue looking at who the people are. Looking at the other people in this image, we can see Aristotle represented by Bastiano da Sangallo, an Italian Renaissance sculptor and architect, as well as other talents. Then at the bottom right, in a red garment, with students, Euclid, the father of geometry in Greece, or Archimedes, as historians studying the image disagree who the person is. He is with students looking at geometry. Next to Euclid, Archimedes, who is Raffaello's friend Bramante, architect, painter, poet, representing one of them, is Raffaello himself. He decided to place himself among the great minds of antiquity and the Renaissance, holding the globe, who is supposed to be Ptolemy, and near him is Zoroaster, holding the sphere of heaven. On the stairs in a blue garment, the philosopher Diogenes of Sinope. Bottom left, there is Pythagoras, pink garment, white robe, the famous mathematician and philosopher. And from the viewer's perspective, to his right, leaning on a bench, writing his thoughts while stretching his leg, is Michelangelo as Heraclitus, the philosopher. Other notable people, directly to the right and behind Pythagoras in a green garment, is Socrates. Facing Socrates is Alexander the Great with a helmet, and Epicurus standing while holding something on top of the column behind Pythagoras. However, this is something scholars have debated as to if that is really Epicurus. The two statues that you see towards the back of the fresco are at the left Apollo, god of music, light, healing, and knowledge, on the side of Plato, representing natural philosophy, and Minerva, Athena, on the side of Aristotle, representing wisdom. As an introduction to this work, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, placing it on all so you'll get notified of other beautiful artwork from Italy and elsewhere, and you will discover insights you may have otherwise not known about. Some beautiful artwork. Thanks for your time and attention.